Welcome to the Sunday morning simulcast with RomWills. Deal with the stress in your life. Deal with the stress. This is very important. I'll never forget what it was a doctor years ago, decades ago. I'll never forget what she said. She said, the thing that really makes people sick. She didn't talk about any germs or anything like that. She said it was stress. She said it was stress. And let's just be real. We are really going through a lot of stress, one way or the other. It's hard to meet someone who just lives a stress-free life. It's hard. Now, I ain't saying somebody doesn't live that or has less stress, but you know, everybody's going through it. Everybody's going through something. Indeed, that's why you have people who are more holistic living. They will do stuff just to relieve their stress. I'm going to tell you what, regardless of what you're doing, how much money you're making, how important that you are to your family, your job, deal with the stress. It's going to happen. Things are going to happen. None of us are going to live a perfect life. None of us are on top of the mountain. Even myself, I'm climbing a mountain. Indeed, the thing that might have caused my medical emergency a couple years ago was stress. We're always stressing over something. Now, some people might try to act cool, like, oh no, I ain't bothered by it. I ain't stressing over it. Please, you out here, you interacting with people. Only way that you might not have stress is if you live out in the woods somewhere by yourself. And even that, somebody might own that land that you own or want to own that land. They might cause you some stress there. But what can you do? One of the things I would say take some time to relax. Take some time to relax. You know, turn off that phone, turn off that TV, get the music out, take some walks, do whatever. And I've talked about this before, and you know what? I'm going to be talking about it again. Relax. Do something that has nothing to do with your work. And if you're going through family stress, yeah, that's understandable. But then take some time to yourself every now and then. Even if it's an hour, it might be a few minutes. In fact, I know someone who goes to meditation every Sunday. That's what they do. That's how they deal with a lot of stress, and they have a lot of stress in their lives. But they also meditate. You know, you can have a walking meditation where you're just walking. And it doesn't have to be for exercise. You just walking just to relax. It could be watching some TV show. It could be dumb. It could be dumb. It could be crazy, but you're just sitting there watching it. That's what you're doing. Or sometimes it could be eating something. It could be whatever you're doing. It could be going fishing, whatever you're doing. Whatever relieves your stress, deal with it. Because many people are facing high blood pressure, other stuff, because they're more stressed than anything else, especially something like high blood pressure. Let me talk about that for a second. That is mainly caused by stress. In fact, I know someone else who has high blood pressure, but they will lower it almost instantly. Whenever they measure themselves and their blood pressure is high, they already know what to do. They know what to do to relax. And they don't really take any pills for it or anything like that. But they relax. They deal with the stress. What is causing that? You have to think about that, because let's just be real. In this society that we're in, that we're always working, we always have stuff to worry about. If we scrolling online, there's a lot of doom scrolling. Because think about it. I don't care what social media platform you get on. the information, the reels, posts have more to do with what's going wrong. They get the most attention, but that's not always good for you. Yeah, they might be making you some money or making them some money, whoever is putting the stuff out, but that's not always good for you. Now, yes, you still want to know what's going on, but like I said, put the phone down sometime. Turn off the TV. Listen to some nice music. Go away from it. Yes, you still want to know what's going on, but sometimes you have to get away from it. You have to get away from it because you're going to be stressed about it. Find something to relax. I'm going to tell you what, relaxation is good. Maybe get a massage. Do something. Do something to relax yourself. Get a massage, some type of body work, some type of energy work or something like that. Whatever it is to take that stress off your body, at least for a little bit. Now, you might have that job that can be real stressful, and I understand that. But then you especially need to find some way to relax, some way to get away from it, because it could kill you. In fact, I was watching something, it was called Living to 100. It was, called Living to 100. Something, I forgot the subtitle, but it had blue zones in the subtitle. And it was a guy going all over the world talking with these people who were living a very long time, going into these communities. One of the things they were doing, they were still staying busy, but they weren't stressed. They wouldn't let stuff stress them, even with the work that they were doing. In fact, there was one community in Costa Rica. They had one guy, he was 100 years old. You couldn't look at him and tell. he looked about 60, but he wasn't stressed, even though he was working. He was relaxing. It showed people having fun. They were doing a lot of stuff to relieve their stress. And thus they were able to live longer. You need to do that. You need to do that. Deal with it. However it is, whatever you need to do. Whatever makes you relax. Whatever makes you laugh. Especially what makes you relax. Like I said, it could be meditation. It could be just taking a good walk. It could be riding a bike. It could be sitting up listening to the music like the music I have on right now. You want to do that. And I've done that. I've done that. Not to the greatest extent always, because, man, I got some workaholic in me, so I definitely have to work on it. But like I always say, I'm not a guru on top of the mountain. I'm climbing right with you. But do it. Deal with it. Stress is the biggest killer, really, because it leads to other things. So deal with it. Deal with it, all right? So anyway, that's all I have for today. Keep rising to become the best version of yourself. Become the person that you are meant to be. Peace and blessings, everyone.